Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hidden Wealth channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Kiran Brar, and I am a part of the Hidden Wealth Foundation, which is an organization that is committed to bringing about social services and resources for our South Asian community, as well as highlighting much of our hidden wealth here in the Central Valley. And today, joining me is one of our committee members, Mr. Raman Singh, who is also the Chief Executive for North American Punjabi Trucking Association. Sat Sri Akal, Ramanji, how are you?
Sat Sri Akal ji.
How are you? So also, it's a privilege for me to introduce our guest today, our newly elected mayor and former police chief, Mr. Jerry Dyer. So hi Jerry, how are you? How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
I am home for a little bit. I have to go out later today, but I'm home now.
Yeah, just protect yourself. So I know congratulations are in order, but I don't think 2020 even gave us a chance, right, to do much celebrate. So thank you for being here and helping us put out this information. I don't know if you've met Raman Singh. He's a part of the North American Trucking Association, and he's very connected to our Punjabi community as well. So we just want to learn, with everything going on, how is the city dealing with everything?
Well, I haven't taken the position there yet, but I have been very engaged in a lot of the activities that are going on, and quite frankly, it's overwhelming for any city in America to deal with this COVID crisis. And there's a lot of things that have to be done in terms of making sure your employees are safe, but also making sure that the people in your community are kept safe. And that's why you've seen some of the restrictions that have been put in place in terms of people staying at home, the unfortunate closure of many of the businesses that are deemed to be non-essential. But some very, very difficult decisions that had to be made by the city of Fresno. And it's a challenging time for all of us from a health perspective and certainly from an economic perspective. Very, very challenging for all of us, which is why I believe we need to all do our part. And every little bit helps. And we need to support one another, encourage one another, and give when we can.
Well, I would like to ask you, Jerry, that we have this order in place, stay at home, but we still see on the street of Fresno it's pretty packed, and all the parking lots are full. And the street I work at, or our business is at, we are closed since 2 weeks, but our street still doesn't have parking to park. So it seems like that people, they're still out at the street. Is city doing something about it?
Well, there's a couple of things that the city is doing about that. Number one, you try to have voluntary compliance. No one wants to turn our city into a police state where the police officers are out there arresting people for not doing certain things. But I can tell you that voluntary compliance was initially, that was what the city of Fresno was tried like most cities. But now I understand that the city council is going to be considering an ordinance this week that will allow for code enforcement officers to enforce the law or cite people when they're not practicing the appropriate social distancing or physical separation. That's largely for those gatherings that might occur in a parking lot or could occur in a house. Because we know that some people are taking this opportunity. They're not at work. They're having parties at their house. They're having gatherings of 40 or 50 people. And those are the things that are going to spread this virus and make it more difficult for us as a city to open up our businesses. So the sooner we can get this behind us, the faster we're going to resume normalcy. So that ordinance is going to be considered this week. I understand Councilmember Luis Chavez is bringing that ordinance forward.
Do we have any kind of like punishments or fines or anything that is, or it's a regular ordinance or regular enforcement that is what is going to take place?
Yeah, that ordinance that they're bringing forth will be accompanied by a fine. I believe the initial fine is like $500. It can go upwards of thousands of dollars for people who, depending on what the violation is and whether or not those people are cooperative. Again, you try to get voluntary compliance whenever possible, and then when that fails, then you have to resort to fines. I never thought we'd have to get to this place where the council would even consider, because I just felt that people understand the severity of this virus and would take it upon themselves to practice good personal separation. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing it, I would say, in 80% of the city, but the other 20%, not so much.
God, yeah, I think it's extremely important for us, and that is crucial, especially with what we're hearing about this peaking, in mid-April. But we wanted to talk about, like you said, doing our part. And I know that you recently got involved with Give Help Now organization, and
Yes.
we wanted to kind of learn about that. So I know that it is set up mainly to help out nonprofits, but if you could share with us and what that's about.
Well, it's set up to help the people through the nonprofits, and that is to be able to provide shelter, food, and services to people who are in our community. Because I never imagined that a virus like COVID-19 could have the devastating impact that it's having on communities across the world, including Fresno. And not only are people losing their lives, people are losing their livelihoods. We now have people standing in food lines who never imagined that they would be in food lines having to wait for food. People who are not that they don't know where their next paycheck's coming from, and more importantly, they don't know where their next meal is coming from. That's how bad it's gotten in communities. And so it is really important that we support those nonprofit organizations that are out there providing services to those people who are in need, people who have lost their jobs, people who are not able to pay their rent, people who may be in a situation where they don't even have a place to live. It's important that we support those nonprofit organizations like the Central California Community Food Bank, Marjorie Mason Center, who provides shelter for battered women, the Fresno Rescue Mission, Poverello House, Catholic Charities, and a number of other organizations who, quite frankly, are at their capacity. Many of them have had to cancel their fundraising efforts because of the restrictions placed on them by the city or the governor. And so they've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in fundraising that they utilize to support people in need. And so it's been a double impact, a double hit on those organizations. So they have more demands and they have fewer dollars to meet those demands. So that's why a group of businessmen, 5 businessmen in Fresno that I'm working with, have come together and put up $500,000 as a match. That seed money is placed into an account, hoping that people will donate to a nonprofit organization through givehelpnow.org, and dollar for dollar, every dollar that a person commits will be matched by this account and given to that nonprofit organization. And so people can actually go onto the website, givehelpnow.org. They can designate which organization they want the monies to go to, and then we will match it. It could be one of those organizations I mentioned, or perhaps someone knows of another organization out there that's reaching those individuals who are impacted by COVID-19, and we will again match it and make sure that they get those dollars given to them. So every dollar counts, and every dollar donated will be matched up to $500,000. And I believe Fresno is a very, very generous place, and we're going to meet the needs throughout Fresno County with this givehelpnow.org DYER-Former.org campaign.
So, Jerry, is there any criteria for a nonprofit to apply for or to qualify for that grant?
Well, in terms of qualifying, as long as that organization is meeting the needs of people impacted by COVID-19, and when I say meeting the needs, it specifically provides shelter, provides food, provides some type of service to those individuals. For example, there's an organization out there today that was doing job placement. They're a nonprofit organization. They were training people and placing them in jobs, oftentimes first-time jobs. Well, now that the job market has dried up, they have shifted those employees, 42 employees, to delivering food for our seniors within our community. They're called neighborhood industries. And we certainly want to get behind them and support them because they are delivering food they're getting food from the food bank, which they pay for, and then they're delivering those food to those groceries to seniors within our community who perhaps can't get out or should not get out of their home. So we want to be able to support folks like that in our community.
Absolutely. I think we're blessed. Like you said, it's surprising. Actually, it's not. I do agree with you when you say that we've got a giving community, and it's wonderful that the leaders are stepping up to give in that way. So in order to give help now, you just go onto the website and you can donate through there. And like you said, you designate the charity, or you can pick one of your own that is doing something else in the community along those lines.
Yes, so you go to givehelpnow.org. It's a very simple website. We created it to be very simple, and you could just put down what organization, or there's a place you can designate your own. And again, dollar for dollar will be matched, and we will give those dollars to those organizations as they come in on a weekly basis. But the goal is to distribute all of the funding by May 7th, and we're doing this for a 30-day period through May 2nd. And it's our hope that to get $30 million or $1 million in 30 days. I believe we're going to exceed the $1 million. And so, but that's only if everyone helps. And, you know, I know some people think, well, I can only give $10. Well, that $10 equals $20 now to an organization. And we know that nonprofit organizations, they know how to stretch their dollar. So that $20 can go a long way when we're talking about services that can be provided to our community. And the need is tremendous, and we need to meet that need now. And I want to add that,
Jerry, one more question that left that I was trying to ask you, that we do, you know, we might, I hope not, but we might have patients that for the COVID-19, and if we have overflow, what is going to happen to our regular or the daily patients that they are coming to the hospital? Are they going to be in the same hospital, or something else has been done on that?
well, there is an overflow that is being done right now at the convention center downtown. That is has been approved by the governor as a location where patients can go, non-COVID-19 patients. So they would be the ones that would be transferred from the hospital to the convention center, and now it is set up as a medical facility, being set up now, and being set up by the the Army Corps of Engineers. So that organization is turning the convention center into somewhat of a medical facility for the overflow. I'm hopeful that we don't need it, but I think if New York is any indication of what other cities in America might experience over the next few weeks, we need to be prepared. And I've always believed when I was a police chief of Fresno, we prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And so we need to be prepared for the worst.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yes, I think, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. preparedness, or all of the stories that we hear, it was because there was a lack of preparedness. So, expect the worst and hope for the best. Good way to say it. So, thank you for sharing, on the Give Help Now foundation, and I'm sure, just like you said, we've got a very generous community, and I do feel that we're going to surpass that $1 million. So in addition to that, why we were asking about the nonprofits is that we've got a collaboration of there's 5 of us nonprofits. We are working with a Hispanic Fresno area Hispanic Foundation, Pie Shop, Her Space, and Hope. And we were thinking of how can we give, and one of the ways is that yes, we are definitely going to be contributing $1,000 to Give Help Now, and once the Fresno area Hispanic Chamber or area Foundation heard about it, they also want to match that $1,000. So I hope more people will step up. So yeah, so we would like to offer that. And also another thing I want to talk about is that you kind of took it on your own, and also provided 5,000 masks for our officers, where
Right.
you got funds donated. And so kind of tell me about that, because you shared on where you were able to get the masks from, and the quality of the masks that we're able to get our hands on.
Yeah, well, there was as a result of the large demand for masks and personal protective equipment across the world, it put a stress or a strain on a lot of the manufacturers. And so even the hospital personnel were having a difficult time getting enough of the personal protective equipment to include the mask. There's different types of masks. There's the surgical mask, which have a less of an ability to protect someone. And then there's other types of masks that give more protection. They're called the N95 mask or the KN95. So Luis Chavez, who happens to be one of our council members, has an import business, and he was able to gain access to a large quantity of these masks from China. They are FDA approved now. They're the KN95 mask. Mr. Ed Cashin had reached out to me a couple of weeks ago with a desire to buy masks for first responders. So we were able to take the monies that he donated, $20,000, to buy 5,000 masks for police and fire in Fresno. 2/3 of those masks have gone to the police department, 1/3 to the firefighters, and that distribution occurred this week. The city of Fresno has also ordered masks, but for whatever reason those have been delayed, and I don't know why, but other than the fact that maybe city governments are competing with a lot of other organizations for that equipment. But what I do know is we can't wait. We have people that are out there doing their job, required to work, police officers, firefighters, bus drivers, and other city employees who need that personal protective equipment. So our police officers now have them, our firefighters have them, but our bus drivers have not yet received them. And so that's why we were trying to find a way to come up with funds to purchase these masks for the bus drivers. Bus drivers are in close proximity to passengers. Although they're limiting the number that get on the bus, they're still in close proximity to them when they pay their fare, as well as when they have to have the opportunity, when you have a disabled or a person with a disability, the bus driver has to get in close proximity to make sure that they're secure, that their restraints are placed on them. So with that, they're exposed. And we had a bus driver who died of COVID-19 in Detroit. And we do not want to have we don't want to have a bus driver die here. So I think it's important that we meet that need for them as well.
I agree. After I learned that, honestly, I was quite surprised, because a lot of us kind of assume that, our healthcare workers and everybody else on the front line are being protected. And some governments helping out with that. But like you said, there never seems to be enough funds. So that was my first time learning about it. And after we learned that, like I said, I went back to our partners with Entrepreneur California, and we also are looking into providing masks. Again, Hope is going to jump in and give $1,000 for masks, and we also at Hidden Wealth are looking to get a little over 1,000 masks, and if we can, bus drivers are definitely on our list. So once we get those, as well as shields are a big thing right now. One of our partners, the Pie Shop, actually turned their business to, they've got a 3D printer and they are assembling, manufacturing shields. So we're also going to look into getting about 500 shields. The Hispanic Foundation is going to jump in, match us with that. So, if all goes well, we're hoping that we can get our bus drivers, our truck drivers, our farmers, and especially our healthcare workers that are in need of this. Just to be able to provide action. At the end of the day, you have to think, if I was out there, what would I want? And my gosh, there's no way I think I would be out there working without probably a whole astronaut suit if I could. So, but protection is very important. So we're trying to work on that, and hopefully we'll come through and be able to provide that for our community.
Thank you, Karen. And I did share with the president of the Bus Drivers Association here in Fresno, ATU, what you guys were doing, the Hidden Wealth Foundation. And he was extremely excited. So I did tell them when we were working on that, we were committed towards that, and we would make it happen. And I also got a hold of Mr. Chavez and told him that that would happen. So hopefully this week we will be able to take care of our bus drivers. That's the plan.
Yes.
I think it's great to talk to you, Jerry, and I think to learn the insights and what's going on and what precautions are being taken. I think it's really great to hear that, and hopefully we'll be able to take it to the community in a right manner and right news and right information. So thank you for coming on with us on the program so that we can get the right information and take the right information to the community.
Yeah, thank you very much, both of you. And again, I'm proud to be a part of the Give Help Now campaign. 100% of those dollars are going to those organizations. We're involved we're involving ourselves in it strictly on a voluntary basis. No one's receiving any dollars other than those nonprofits. So please give and give generously. I believe that's what we need to do in this time of crisis in our country, is to rally together and to come together and to support each other and to give generously. I know that is what your community stands for, and I believe that's what America stands for as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Jerry, and we will continue our efforts. And I was going to ask you if there was a figure, and I know this is a little hard to put out there, but if there was a number of masks that were needed, what would you say? So maybe we can start to campaign, and maybe some of our community members will try to help us reach that goal.
Well, depending on how long this virus exists in our community will determine how many masks we need. But I do know that the hospitals are in need of tens of thousands of masks. And I know, like I said, our bus drivers are in need. So, if somehow, some way as a community, we're going to have to come up with 40 or 50,000 more masks, I would think, outside of our medical personnel. And that's for police officers, firefighters, for all the first responders who are out there. We have a lot of them out there that are in need of this equipment. So I don't know what the number is, but I know at this point in time we do not have enough, and we can always use more.
Well, here we go, and we will put in our full effort to see what we can do to give back.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys, and thank you for having me on the show. God bless you guys.
Sat Sri Akal ji. Wow, you learn something new every day, huh? Honestly, I really did assume that a lot of our city workers, county workers, state workers are fully protected. And it's surprising to learn that they're not, right?
It's pretty sad to hear that everything is pretty backed up, and definitely there are lags somewhere that tells us ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਜਲਦੀ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਇਹ ਆਰਡਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਔਰ ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਾਹਲੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਜੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਮਿਟਮੈਂਟ ਆਉਣ, ਜਿੰਨੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਡੋਨੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਆਵੇ ਤੇ ਉਨੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਇਹ ਕੁਛ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਲੋਕਲ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਲੋਕਲ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ, ਰੈਡੀ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ।
Yeah, absolutely, and we do need the community's help. Like we were discussing, there is just so much risk out there, and I would hope that everybody would just step back and kind of put yourself in those workers' shoes. What would you want? And this is the perfect time, especially with our community. We've got generous hearts, and we are able. A lot of us are able to pitch in $10. For a shield and $4 for a mask. So that's $15. And you can help someone, have a little peace of mind out there and provide protection for them.
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕਿਰਨ, ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹੂੰਗਾ ਔਰ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਟਰੱਕ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿੰਨਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਾਸਕ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੀਲਡ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਾਇਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿਖਾਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਸ਼ੀਲਡ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਔਰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸ਼ੀਲਡ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ $15 ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਲੈਣੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ, ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਾਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ $15 ਆ ਵਾਪਸ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਸ਼ੀਲਡ ਤੇ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਮਾਸਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਖਰੀਦਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਸ਼ੀਲਡ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਰਚ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪੈਸਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਇੱਧਰ ਉੱਧਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਦ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਾਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡੈਫੀਨੇਟਲੀ ਉਸ ਪੈਸਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ, ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਸੇਫ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਬਾਏ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਏ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਨੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਪਲਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿ ਉਨੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਰਡਰ ਨੂੰ ਉਹੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਰਕੂਲੇਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਰਹੂਗੀ।
Yes, so please help us right now. Our city does need us. Our community needs us. If not now, when? And honestly, with Hidden Wealth, we've been doing fundraisers for quite some time, and the money that we raised was actually supposed to go for a community center. And knowing what's going on, we just couldn't wait and sit on funds and not step out to help our community. So we reached out to a lot of our big sponsors that had initially donated funds for one purpose, and they were quite fine with us deterring the funds to help with protective gear. So if there's anybody else out there that would like to step up and support us, Hidden Wealth is going in for $5,000 for shields, along with the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation, as well as $5,000 for masks. And Hope organization is coming in and putting in 1,000 for those. So this will allow us about 1,500 face masks and 1,000 shields, but we definitely need a lot more. Like you heard Jerry, there are many of our city workers that are still waiting. There are many of our health professionals that are continuously having to reuse the same masks, and as you know, that's not safe. Masks get contaminated very easily. So this is an ask for our entire community to please contact us, and you can visit our website. There is a donate button on there, and you can donate funds through there as well, or give us a call. You can also go to the Pie Shop website and donate if you want to donate for a shield. A shield is $10. So any way that you can step up and help us out and our community out, we would greatly appreciate it.
ਤਾਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕਿਰਨ, ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ, ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨੀ, ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋਣਾ, ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੱਕ ਫਰੇਜ਼ਨੋ ਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ, ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ। ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਬੈਠੀ ਆ, ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ, ਬਹੁਤ ਐਸੇ ਫੂਡ ਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, ਕਿਸੇ ਕਿਸਮ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, ਬਹੁਤ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ। ਔਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਲ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਹਿਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਲੀਜ਼, ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ। ਅਨਫੋਰਚੂਨੇਟਲੀ ਬੈਡ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਆ, ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਮੌਕਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਔਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਤੋਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਕਿ ਗ੍ਰਾਸ ਰੂਟ ਲੈਵਲਸ ਤੇ, ਲੋਕਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈਣਾ, ਉਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਲੋਕਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈਣਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਆ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨੀ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਰਿਕੁਆਇਰਡ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ, ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਤਰੀਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਇਸ ਮੌਸਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ।
So we will provide our link and for our website, and if you go on our website, like I said, there's a donate button. 100% of whatever is donated will be applied to help out with the COVID-19 right now.
ਜਾਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਮੈਨੂੰ, ਰਮਨ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਰਨ ਨੂੰ, ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਪੇਜ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡਾ, ਹਿਡਨ ਵੈਲਥ ਦਾ ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਪੇਜ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਪੇਜ ਹੈਗਾ, ਸਾਡਾ ਨਾਰਥ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਟਰੱਕਿੰਗ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਪੇਜ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ 'ਚ, ਇਸ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਈਜ਼ੀਐਸਟ ਵੇ ਹੈਗਾ। ਸਾਡੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟਸ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਮਾਧਿਅਮ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਦੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਰਟ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਈਮੇਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ।
Well, thank you, Raman. Sat Sri Akal. Thank you for joining, and to everybody, stay safe and indoors, okay, as much as you can.
Stay home, stay safe.